It all starts with one man, a figure shrouded in both admiration and controversy. His name was Lafayette Ron Hubbard, a name that would eventually become synonymous with a global movement. Or L. Ron Hubbard, as the world would come to know him, a man who would leave an indelible mark on the 20th century and beyond. He was a pulp fiction writer, crafting tales of adventure and intrigue for a hungry audience. An adventurer, or so he claimed, seeking thrills and experiences in far-flung corners of the globe, and a man who claimed to have seen more of the world by his early 20s than most see in a lifetime, a claim that fueled the mystique surrounding him. He wrote westerns, tales of cowboys and the wild frontier, science fiction, imagining futures both utopian and dystopian, and fantasy tales weaving worlds of magic and mythical creatures, churning out words at an incredible pace, a prolific writer driven by ambition and a desire to captivate. Hubbard's official biographies, published by the Church of Scientology, present a carefully constructed narrative. They paint a picture of an almost superhuman figure, a man of extraordinary talents and accomplishments. A nuclear physicist, pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge. A war hero, bravely serving his country in times of conflict. An explorer, charting unknown territories and venturing into the wild. But dig deeper and the story gets complicated, revealing inconsistencies and contradictions. Critics point to records that suggest his military career was less than heroic, marked by periods of illness and questionable conduct. His academic claims exaggerated, with little evidence to support his assertions of scientific expertise. And his explorations more modest, lacking the grandeur and significance often attributed to them. The gap between the man and the myth is where the real story lies, a complex and often unsettling narrative. Before Scientology there was Dianetics, a self-help movement that would pave the way for his later endeavors. In 1950, Hubbard published Dianetics, a book that would quickly become a cultural phenomenon. Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, a bold title promising revolutionary insights into the human mind. A book that promised to cure anxieties, offering a path to inner peace and emotional well-being. Depressions, offering solace to those struggling with the weight of the world. Even physical ailments by addressing the reactive mind, a concept central to Hubbard's theories. Dianetics clubs sprang up across America, fueled by the book's popularity and the promise of self-improvement, offering a step-by-step guide to fixing what was broken inside you, a do-it-yourself approach to mental health. It was a powerful promise, resonating with a post-war generation looking for answers, seeking meaning and purpose in a rapidly changing world. But what drove him? What motivated this man to create such a system? Was it a genuine desire to help alleviate suffering, or something else entirely, something perhaps more self-serving? There's a famous, though disputed quote, often attributed to Hubbard, that casts a shadow over his motivations. If you want to get rich, you start a religion. A cynical observation about the potential for profit in spiritual pursuits. Whether he said it or not, it hangs over the entire enterprise, fueling suspicion and raising questions about his true intentions. Was this a spiritual quest, driven by a genuine desire to understand the human condition, or a meticulously crafted business plan designed to amass wealth and power? Or could it be both, a complex blend of idealism and ambition, spirituality and entrepreneurship? This question is at the heart of the Scientology story, a fundamental paradox that defines its very essence. A puzzle that continues to intrigue and baffle to this day, inviting endless debate and speculation. The transition from Dianetics to Scientology wasn't an overnight transformation, but rather an evolution. A gradual shift in focus and philosophy. It was a period of intense development and adaptation. Dianetics was initially pitched as a groundbreaking science of the mind, promising self-improvement and mental clarity. However, it soon faced intense scrutiny from the scientific community, skepticism from the public, and mounting financial troubles that threatened its very existence. Hubbard needed something bigger, something more encompassing. He envisioned something that offered not just mental clarity and self-help techniques, but also spiritual salvation, a sense of belonging, and perhaps most importantly, legal protection under the umbrella of religious freedom. And so, in 1954, the first Church of Scientology was officially incorporated in Los Angeles, marking a pivotal moment in the movement's history. The ideas expanded, branching out into new territories of thought. Hubbard introduced the concept of the Thetan, the true spiritual self, an immortal being with unimaginable power, who has become trapped in a cycle of forgetfulness and reincarnation. This fundamental shift moved the focus away from mere mental health and towards the pursuit of spiritual immortality and the recovery of lost abilities. Hubbard's extensive writings, filled with complex terminology and philosophical concepts, gradually became sacred texts for his followers, and auditing, a core practice, was elevated to the status of a religious sacrament. Practitioners were now ministers, trained to guide others on their spiritual journey. And the church offered not just a set of beliefs, but a complete worldview, a supportive community, and a structured path to enlightenment. This reframing of Dianetics into Scientology gave the movement new authority, a sense of legitimacy, and a broader appeal to those seeking meaning and purpose in their lives. But controversy inevitably followed, casting a shadow over the burgeoning movement. Governments around the world began to question whether Scientology was a genuine religion deserving of protection, or simply a cleverly disguised commercial enterprise seeking to avoid taxes and regulation. The IRS, in particular, denied its tax-exempt status for many years, leading to protracted and costly legal battles that tested the church's resources and resolve. For devoted followers, this constant scrutiny and opposition served as proof that they were on the right path, misunderstood, unfairly targeted, and even persecuted for their beliefs. The ongoing fight for recognition and acceptance only strengthened their resolve to defend their faith and spread its message. The church's carefully constructed identity as a religion became both a protective shield, safeguarding it from legal challenges, and a powerful sword, used to defend itself against its perceived enemies. For some, drawn to its promises of self-discovery and spiritual growth, it represented a genuine spiritual revolution, a path to transformative experience. But for others, it appeared to be nothing more than a clever business move, a sophisticated money-making scheme disguised as a religion. And the debate, fueled by passionate opinions and conflicting evidence, continues to rage to this day, shaping the ongoing narrative surrounding Scientology. At the heart of Scientology is a single, compelling idea, a core belief that resonates deeply within its followers. It's a concept that drives their actions, shapes their perspectives, and ultimately defines their spiritual journey. A path to improvement. A journey of self-discovery and personal growth, promising a brighter future and a more fulfilling existence. They call it the bridge to total freedom, a symbolic passage, a structured system designed to guide individuals toward enlightenment and spiritual liberation. A chart mapping every step to enlightenment. A detailed and intricate plan outlining the precise actions and milestones required to achieve higher states of awareness. You start with introductory courses and auditing, laying the foundation for your spiritual development through education and self-reflection. Paying for each new stage as you ascend. Each level of progression requires a financial investment, reflecting the commitment and dedication expected from its members. The main tool is auditing, a process of guided self-examination and spiritual counseling. One-on-one sessions using an e-meter, a device used to measure mental state and emotional charge during auditing, to uncover and erase painful memories, or engrams. These are believed to be the root cause of emotional distress and spiritual stagnation. As you progress, auditing delves into past lives, exploring the experiences and traumas accumulated over countless lifetimes. Your thetan, they say, has existed for trillions of years. The thetan, or spiritual being, is believed to be immortal and capable of transcending time and space. Training involves studying Hubbard's writings, the extensive body of work that forms the foundation of Scientology's beliefs and practices, and learning to become an auditor yourself. This allows individuals to guide others on their own spiritual journeys, perpetuating the teachings of Scientology. The ultimate goal to achieve the highest levels of spiritual awareness and ability, reach the highest OT, operating thetan levels, unlocking extraordinary potential and spiritual freedom, where teachings become confidential. These advanced teachings are reserved for those who have reached a certain level of spiritual development and commitment. At these levels, Scientologists learn about Xenu, a key figure in Scientology's cosmology, a galactic ruler who brought billions of aliens to Earth, a pivotal event in Scientology's explanation of human existence, whose souls, body thetans, attach to humans. These are believed to influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. OT auditing aims to remove these body thetans, freeing individuals from their negative influence and restoring spiritual clarity. It's a story that sounds like science fiction, a narrative that blends elements of spirituality, science, and mythology, which, given Hubbard's background, isn't surprising. His career as a science fiction writer heavily influenced the development of Scientology's unique cosmology. The Bridge offers both therapy and spiritual ascent, providing a framework for personal healing and spiritual growth. For believers, it's a roadmap to freedom, a clear and defined path toward enlightenment and self-realization. For critics, it's a costly climb into fantasy, a controversial and expensive journey based on unsubstantiated claims and questionable practices. Few people set out to become Scientologists overnight. The journey often starts with a simple invitation, a friend's recommendation, or a flyer for a free personality test. The Oxford Capacity Analysis, a 200-question test, promises to reveal your strengths and weaknesses. After the test, staff review your results, highlighting areas you need to improve. The solution? Scientology courses and auditing, tailored to your supposed problems. The first course is usually inexpensive and positive, creating a sense of accomplishment and community. Encouraged to take the next step, you gradually become more involved, spending more time and money at the org. The process is gradual immersion. Soon your social circle and free time revolve around the church. The outside world, with its skepticism, fades in importance. For many, this path feels empowering, a way to unlock their true potential. The church becomes their world. The journey is subtle, but the transformation is profound. That's how Scientology grows, one personal story at a time. Life for a dedicated Scientologist is highly structured, revolving around the church. Public members spend evenings and weekends at their local org, taking courses and receiving auditing, often at great expense. Social life centers on church events, reinforcing a sense of elite community. For staff and Sea Org members, commitment is total. They sign billion-year contracts, live communally, wear uniforms, and work long hours for little pay. Their work is a religious calling, not a job, and every aspect of life is measured and monitored. The church enforces disconnection from critics, isolating members from outside influences. From the inside, it's protection. From the outside, it's control. Is Scientology a religion? It has sacred texts, clergy, churches, a moral code, and a path to salvation. But there are key differences. Most religions don't charge set fees for spiritual progress. Scientology's fixed donations for auditing and training are controversial. Critics say this makes it feel more like a business than a faith. Its origin is modern and well documented, created by a science fiction writer, not shrouded in ancient mystery. Its cosmology, especially the Xenu story, feels distinctly sci-fi. Still, all religions start somewhere. Governments disagree. The US and UK recognize it as a religion, while Germany and others see it as a commercial enterprise or cult. For followers, it's unquestionably their faith. For outsiders, the debate rages on. The definition of religion is slippery. Scientology's status depends on who and where you ask. The controversy is part of its story. Scientology and Hollywood are deeply intertwined. The church has always courted celebrities, seeing them as powerful ambassadors. L. Ron Hubbard launched Project Celebrity in the 1950s, targeting stars to boost Scientology's credibility. Tom Cruise is the most famous Scientologist, an outspoken advocate and close friend of church leader David Miscavige. His involvement brings massive publicity, for better or worse. Other high-profile members include John Travolta, Elizabeth Moss, and the late Kirstie Alley. The church operates celebrity centers, offering privacy and support for influential figures. Celebrity focus brings attention, but also scrutiny. When stars like Leah Remini or Paul Haggis leave and speak out, it creates PR crises. The celebrity connection keeps Scientology in the spotlight, sometimes as inspiration, sometimes as controversy. Fame is both asset and liability for the church. Scientology has faced controversy from the start. Critics and ex-members allege it's a high-control group that exploits members financially and psychologically. Stories of pressure to donate, disconnection from family, and harsh conditions in the Sea Org are common. The church is known for aggressive tactics against critics, including lawsuits and surveillance. Scientology denies all allegations, claiming persecution by vested interests. The result is a narrative war, two irreconcilable versions of the truth. Where does Scientology stand today? The picture is mixed. The church projects strength. Lavish ideal orgs, a TV channel, global campaigns. But critics and former members say membership is shrinking, and the internet has made secrets impossible to keep. Younger generations are less interested and the church's influence is waning. Legal battles and public relations campaigns continue, but skepticism grows. Its wealth ensures survival, but its cultural impact is fading. Scientology's future is uncertain. A uniquely American saga of belief, controversy, and the power of a story. The questions it raises remain as compelling as ever.